How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. It's great to be back. 2 weeks off of filming. Finally getting back to it again. Got the MR2 in the garage this time. We just got back from grid life. A lot of fun out there. Met some cool people. People checked out the car, had the car in the show. Noticed some things wrong with the car, obviously. First drive after working on an extensive build. Everything's not gonna go as planned. I did notice with air suspension fully raised, sure, I could clear all the obstacles, but it felt like driving a basketball. And to ride with it lowered, sure, it looks cool, and it rides a lot better. I have some issues rubbing. Specifically, on the inside of here, you can see where the shadow is. It is the original bracket that this clamps into, where you push the bumper in. As right now, it's drooping because I'm getting ready to remove it and start working on it. Noticed the tires, when I turn in and actually have it lowered, it'll start to cut into my tire on the top here. There's a very sharp edge there. So I'm gonna try to use a body saw and trim as far back as I can. And later on, I'm gonna install a couple of brackets behind the flare to squeeze the fender and the bumper together and get rid of that body gap. All right, that gets me about an inch more of room. All right, well, I'll get some paint on that, and then I will begin the prep work for the show tomorrow. Another thing I did off camera, I put the YouTube handle on the edge of the car just so people know, because just about everybody I've talked to had to ask me a bunch of questions about it, and this is why I made the channel in the first place, was to answer all those questions. So another thing I had an issue with before grid life was my first time getting this out in the sun. Some of these panels weren't glued well enough on the sidewall, and they started to release, and it gave like a warped waviness to it. But I was able to actually massage them back on and glue bits back onto the wall, and now it's got enough strength to hold. 3D printed side scoops held up great. So I'm gonna give this stuff a go. Meguiar's Ultimate Black. It looks like Trim Restorer. The directions for this, we just gotta clean up any residue off of here and other places I'm going to apply it, and then you just spray it on and leave it. So let's give that a whirl, see how it looks. And it says to basically just do 2 to 3 coats of that. Easy peasy. Get this front trim as well. It's almost like you put it on like paint, essentially. It's like a fake clear coat, really. All right, everything's dried up. Quick review. Looks pretty shiny, especially since that plastic, I never actually treated it or painted it with anything. It was just the bare plastic. But all right, I'm gonna go to bed, get up early, and get to the car show on time. All right, so pulling it out of the garage, hopefully you can hear everything. This is the first time I broke out my GoPro in a long time. Got the suspension aired up to drive it. So we are heading to the car show now. transmission's tuned, it doesn't want to shift into 6th gear unless I tell it to, unless we're actually cruising at a higher speed. It wants to hold the gears right where they're at. So the car's not exactly quiet in here. I don't even know why I have a sound system. But it's really stiff. The suspension's super stiff. The car itself is super stiff. Oh, that's because I have it all the way aired up from last night. I forgot to air it back down a little bit. So currently we are heading to the gym to meet a couple people that are going to the show with us. So for the most part, I'm just leaving the car and drive. We still got a lot to go on the clutch break-in, so I'm not gonna try to be hard on it. It is a super bumpy ride. Our roads are not great here either, so. There's a guy directing for the show right there. Now the car does drive straight. I just didn't align it with the wheel. I used the string method when I did the alignment, using jack stands and a string. It seemed to do okay, but later on I'm gonna get it professionally aligned. All right, they're here. We're heading over to the show. There's Nate's car. Natalie's driving the Audi today. I'm gonna follow them over to the show. Get your little turbo sounds. Of course they'd cut me off. All right. Yeah, we're heading to the South Haven Festival of Cars, cruising for Kylie 2023. Proceeds from the show benefit people with cystic fibrosis, so it's kind of going for a good cause. There's also supposed to be a farmer's market today. Let's see what kind of junk food we can get into. Guys, phone is coming in.
Anywhere you want.
Thank you. This show's mostly for classic cars, so I don't expect to win any awards today. number one question I'm gonna get today is, what is it? Look at the air all the way out today. All right, so my phone died right before the end of that event yesterday. None of us won any awards or anything like that. It was more of a muscle car show, so I felt like I was pretty outnumbered there anyway. Overall, we had a lot of fun. It was a good time. Waiting on rebuilding the bank account for some funding to get some big parts for the MR2, so it'll be a little bit till we're back on that. We will be transitioning over to the new project, the E46 BMW. I will show you a little bit of what we got going here. I will catch you up on all of this. We have a whole series filmed for this car. But if you're ready to see all that, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see these projects going forward, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. Should I give them a peace out? Peace out.